Welcome to the Maine Child Nutrition New Meal Pattern Educational Series. Throughout this presentation, we will discuss how to identify and credit vegetables within recipes. The first step is to identify the vegetables within the recipe. Step 2 is to identify the number of servings. Step 3 is to identify the quantities of each vegetable. Step 4 is to check whether quantities are for as purchased or edible portion. Step 5 is to total up the amount of vegetables in the recipe. Step 6 is to total up the amount of vegetables in each subgroup. Step 7 is to divide the total amount of vegetables by the number of servings. Let's take a look at an example using a minestrone soup recipe. First, we identify the vegetables within the recipe. In this case, we're going to count the beans in this recipe towards the beans, peas, legumes, vegetable subgroup. Remember that you can count beans towards either the meat alternate or the vegetable subgroup, but you can't count it towards both. Then we determine the number of servings and serving size. In this case, the recipe provides 50 1-cup servings of minestrone soup. Then we determine the quantities of vegetables within the recipe. Next, we determine whether we are looking at edible portion or as purchased. Since the recipe calls for diced, minced, chopped, canned, and drained, we assume we are dealing with edible portion. If we were given as purchased values, we would need to use the food buying guide to determine edible portions. We then determine the quantities of each vegetable. We want to convert everything into a cup measurement with a decimal for easier math. So we get 1.5 cups of fresh onion, 5.25 cups of carrots, 2.125 cups of cabbage, 2 cups of celery, 1.875 cups of zucchini, 7 cups of tomato paste, and 8.25 cups of beans. Remember that for tomato paste, every tablespoon equals 1/4 of a cup of vegetable. This gives us 28 cups of total vegetables. Here are a few helpful resources from the Food Buying Guide Introduction section that will help with fractions and volumes when crediting fruits and vegetables. Here we have a chart for converting fractions to decimals and a guide to how volumes, such as quarts and gallons, translate into cups. Here is another chart from the Food Buying Guide, which shows decimal ranges that equal a certain amount of cups. We then break the vegetables up into vegetable subgroups and determine vegetable subgroup totals for the whole recipe. Under red-orange vegetables, we have a total for carrots and tomato paste. Under legumes, we have a total for just the Great Northern beans. And under other vegetables, we have a total for fresh onion, cabbage, celery, and zucchini. So there are a couple of different ways you can credit these values towards the vegetables per serving. Since there are 28 cups of total vegetables, we divide that by 50 servings to get 0.56 or 1/2 cup of vegetables per 1 cup serving of soup. You can choose to credit the amount per serving as total vegetables in the additional vegetable category if you've already met your subgroups elsewhere within your week's menus. If you want to credit the vegetables towards the specific subgroups, you would need to determine the subgroup totals per serving. With red-orange vegetables, 12.25 cups divided by 50 servings gives us 1/4 cup red-orange vegetable per 1 cup serving of soup. For the other vegetables, 7.5 cups divided by 50 servings gives us 1/8 cup of other vegetables per 1 cup serving of soup. For the legumes, 8.25 cups divided by 50 servings gives us 1/8 cup serving of legumes per 1 cup serving of soup. All of the necessary links to resources provided in this video are available in the video's description. Please visit our website for more information on Maine child nutrition programs.